Nikki, welcome to part 5. I'm going to give you a hint here. A couple of the things that I am sharing today may seem very simple on the surface. And so, even though I don't like to complicate things, I want you to challenge yourself to not just go for the safe option and to be okay with the fact that you can just start to pull back some more and more layers. Ask more questions, get different answers, and really move it around. My son is really into a Rubik's Cube at the moment, and I love watching him flip it around or like going, oh, I need to find the orange, which is on the bottom. And he's always changing the perspective of it. We're not quite there of solving the whole puzzle, but he can do like one or two sides. And I really love just watching that process, that he knows he's not going to get it by just holding this thing. He has to flip it around. The first point I want to talk about is strong foundations. And I felt, as many did, and maybe you're having this dawning now of like, oh, I thought I'd just do this thing once and then it would be done. That's it. And I don't have to think about it again. And that realization where you say to yourself, oh no, it is a work in progress, is annoying sometimes. It's almost like that moment where we've had lots of painting done since we've been in our new house. And when you paint that room, you go, oh, we always make sure we have that big celebration moment of like, it looks great. Oh, I love that color, all of that sort of stuff. But the next thing that your brain might automatically do is look at the room next to it and go, that looks even more rubbish than it did before. Wow, okay, we've really got to get on with that next room. And I want to go back to this sense of strong foundations, because it's important that we are conscious about what these strong foundations are. Because I don't know about you, but there are some things in my business, maybe in my life, in my way I move through the world, that I have picked up along the way that actually are not mine. I don't necessarily want them, but they've embedded themselves into my subconscious, I guess. And I'm now in this situation where I'm unpicking things or questioning things or saying, do you know what? I'm going to let that go. I'm going to make a decision to let that go, because that is not serving me. That does not belong to me. That is not mine. The other day in yoga, John, the teacher, shared this really great thing. It's a really great visual. He was talking about the fact that all of our bodies, our systems, are built of beliefs, habits, experience, stories that are deeply ingrained within us. And the visual that he gave was to imagine these thick ropes. And these ropes are wound around each other and they're heavily plaited together. And if we don't look at them, they just become more brittle, more rigid, and won't move. And he was saying that instead of feeling that overwhelmed of like, I can't shift those, doing an exhale as I'm saying, I can't shift those ropes. He was saying to notice the small changes that you're making, the things that you are doing that serve you, that make you feel good, the lessons that you learn, the additional skills or the magic moments, whatever it might be. And think about those golden threads. And those golden threads, day on day, week on week, month on month, year on year, will start to become more prevalent alongside those systems. And there will become a point where maybe those thick ropes will start to fray and start to disembody and not be part of you any longer and start to fall away, because these golden threads are starting to come in, and that is what you see. And so I want you to think about your next set of foundations and what you need your business to do. Now, in a very practical way, this could be you pressing the hide button on some of your website because you want to do one promotion and that's what you're going to be doing for the rest of the year. Great, do that. But every step of the way, ask yourself, how can I bring more ease and flow to this? How can I take away some of the decision making? How can I begin to shrink that? How can I make this more of an easy yes? Is there any confusion in my personal brand? Am I being clear? And really ask yourself those big questions. Because if you're seeing it as a visual of your strong foundation, so the bricks amongst that might be your messaging, your products, your services, the way that you communicate online, your copy on your website. If one of those things is out of balance, the best thing to do, instead of just loading more stuff on it, is to take that brick out and go, do you know what? I'm going to look at this because it's making the rest of it really wonky. And it's not allowing those other elements to sing and be bright and all of the things that I need them to be. So be very conscious, be very deliberate and say, do you know what? I'm just going to take this out because it doesn't work. And it's having a negative effect on all the other parts. You taking control and being bold in that moment is really going to help you. Number 10. This is a lovely one, and you may not come up with the answers straight away, and it doesn't have to be an overnight, oh my goodness, I've got a 10x, whatever it might be. It might be just little tiny tweaks. I want to ask you, in terms of your personal brand, how can you bring more surprise? Not as in like, surprise, I didn't turn up for your session, but surprise. I brought that book for you and I'm going to give it to you because we spoke about it in our last session. How can you delight your clients? I love it when old clients get back in touch, or, you know, I will check in with them 3 months later, or I will get a notification in my calendar of something that happened a year ago in relation to a client and go, I can't believe that was a year ago. Look at you now. Look what's happening. Really think about how you can bring more intrigue and fun and curiosity and just all those feel-good vibes. They will be different for each and every one of you, depending on your personal brand, depending on what you're all about. But really allow yourself to be playful, to be light, to be mobile within it. I think so often that there is this pressure of saying, right, I've now got to get the right answer, or this has to be completely perfect before it goes live. And what we can do is we can end up giving that sort of neutral thing again, that kind of sheen on something. I often liken it to buying some boots or something like this. I actually had some amazing vintage boots. You know, when vintage suddenly came like back into fashion in like 2005 or something like that, I had these amazing brown boots, and I could never have bought them from the shop in this way because I'd be like, they're just a bit kind of straight lace, they're a bit kind of stuck. And the fact that these boots were vintage, like they had give, they had a bit of a scuff on the toe, their heels were really comfy and you could rock back and forward in them. They felt really, really good. So look at those feelings, look at those added like zingy things that you want to add to your personal brand, and let's do that work. I would love to help you. As I always say, do check out my Work With Me page. That is the best place to find me. If you're not sure what you want, but you know that you want and need something, go to my email, hello@nickyraby.com. That's, again, probably the best place to ask the questions. And when you ask the questions, you start the process of getting the answers that you need. And this is so important. If you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling overwhelmed, the power of an open question is absolutely amazing. So whether or not you're looking for a coach or not, just keep asking the questions. use the what, why, how, where. I always forget the last one. And allow and invite yourself to go deeper and really get into that juicy stuff. All right, I'm going to leave it there. I am losing the light because the clocks have changed and it's autumn. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, for listening, for being with me today, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.